After watching the Quadrangle TV series, Chen Zhixing opened his eyes and arrived at the Quadrangle in 1965. At the beginning, there was no father, mother fell ill, and a younger sister who was in junior high school. Chen Zhixing must shoulder this family. Chapter 1. The Kid from the Chen Family. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. That kid from the Chen family sat at the door, lost in thought. Since his father went, this kid has changed a lot. Dad is gone, mom is sick again, and she's dragging a little one. It's pitiful that anyone's child wouldn't be confused about this. It's been 10 days now, haven't you gone to the steel rolling mill to take up the post? How can the Chen family deal with it in the future? TSK, a disaster has struck from heaven, a family that has suffered a lot. In the courtyard at number 95 Nangaluo Lane, a group of aunties gather together to chat and chat. Sometimes sighing, sometimes sighing. The Siheyuan in Nangaluo Lane is a large courtyard, divided into 3 main courtyards. Front, middle, and back. The Chen family is a resident of the courtyard, with a large room and a small year room, and a family of 4. Chen Zhixing, father, Yuan Xiufan, mother, Chen Zhixing, son, Chen Ning, female. Chen Zhixing works as a security guard in the security department of the steel rolling mill, a level 6 security guard, with a monthly salary of 47.5 yuan. Yuan Xiufang takes care of household chores and does some small things to earn money at home. The production efficiency of the steel rolling mill is good, and the welfare benefits are among the top in the 49 cities. The couple lives frugally, but is willing to spend money on their child's education. Provide Chen Zhixing, a vocational school student, and Chen Ning, a junior high school student. After Chen Zhixing graduated from vocational school, Chen Zhixing quickly took a walk and arranged a good job for his own child, directly taking up the position of cadre. At that time, a family of 4 with 2 formal workers will have a beautiful day. The people in the courtyard were filled with envy. Unexpectedly, there may be unexpected circumstances. Chen Zhixing was stabbed 5 times by heinous criminals during an operation to assist the police in apprehending a gang of thieves, and died on the spot. The news came that the Chen family had changed weather. Yuan Xiufan endured her grief, took care of her husband Chen Zhixing's affairs, and fell ill. I stayed in the emergency room of Red Star Hospital for 5 days and spent countless expenses. On the day Yuan Xiufan returned to the courtyard, a group of aunties saw her withered expression and pale face, shaking their heads and sighing. A person who was originally full of energy and spirit has transformed into a person who is neither human nor ghost in just a few days, and anyone who looks at it feels heartbroken. The Chen family has suffered damage to their pillars and pillars. In the face of great changes, if Chen Zhixing can withstand them, the Chen family may still have a chance to rise to power. Chen Zhixing's performance it's almost indescribable. This kid is taking care of Yuan Xiufan and his sister Chen Ning at home, which is quite orderly. At other times, it's all about holding a small horse stool and sitting at the door watching the sky. He is like a big fool. Everyone secretly sighed that the Chen family had been completely defeated this time. Even if the family has not yet reached the point of destruction, it is unlikely that the men in the family will be able to handle it in the long run. The aunt in the courtyard discussed for a while again, and the topic shifted to the marriage of the family's child. Chen Zhixing, the young man from the Chen family they spoke of, was sitting at the entrance of the Chen family in the courtyard, his gaze wandering towards the sky. A look of losing one's soul. On the 10th day, the system has finally loaded to 99%. If nothing unexpected happens, it should be able to start today. This damn life. Chen Zhixing murmured to himself in his heart, with a hint of helplessness and bitterness on his face. God pitied him. He painted a play called Birdman Courtyard all night long, wrote about several characters in the play, and fell asleep. Open your eyes again and you'll come to the world of quadrangle houses in front of you. The time is still July 1965. There are still 6 months left before the big waves and tides. Chen Zhixing had just finished accepting his original memories when the steel rolling mill received bad news that his own father, Chen Zhixing, had disappeared. He, along with his mother and sister, was busy taking care of Chen Zhixing's affairs, and his own mother Yuan Xiufan fell ill again. There is also Chen Ning, a little girl with a breakdown in her emotions, at home. Chen Zhixing didn't have time to think too much, so he threw money into the hospital, signed and accompanied her. Taking care of the little sister Chen Ning at home and comforting this teenage girl. 3 days ago, Yuan Xiufan's physical symptoms eased and she learned that she had been staying in the hospital emergency room for 5 days. Yuan Xiufan asked the doctor for the hospitalization bill. Then forcibly demand discharge. Chen Zhixing is cooking for his sister at home. Upon receiving news from the hospital, he rushed to the hospital in a hurry. I can't persuade Yuan Xiufan. Yuan Xiufan said in one sentence, your father is gone, and your mother cannot drag down your siblings. After returning to the hospital, Chen Zhixing didn't have to run around from home to the hospital, so he had more free time. Finally able to think about my own damn experience. The drama, Qin Man Siheyuan, was watched by Chen Zhixing while he was idle and bored, saying that the characters in it were all kind, respectful, and frugal. Although life was difficult in the 1960s, the people in the courtyard were united, friendly, and overcame difficulties together. It was particularly healing, full of excitement, and had a power to soothe people's hearts. Chen Zhixing was also idle, so he clicked to take a look. At first glance, it couldn't stop at all. The more you look, the more frustrated you become. Feeling so frustrated that I couldn't turn it off, I had to keep watching and see what kind of tricks these people could come up with. Until seeing the final happy ending, Chen Zhixing almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. First, let's greet the ancestors of those reverse drama accounts, who are 18 generations old. Chen Zhixing just wants to give them the professional mage Lu Haiju's curse GIF emoji pack. Then Chen Zhixing gave the main characters in the play a bitter roast. The moral deity Yi Zhonghai, the stick official fan Lu Haizhong, and the master of calculation Yan Fugui. The necromancer Jia Zhang. Pure white lotus and Qinhuai lotus, thieves do not leave empty stems. There is also Dian Xiao de Shou Sha Zhu, a blood predator named Su Damao, and a self-controlled deaf and mute old lady. Little quadrangle courtyard can gather so many crouching dragon and phoenix chicks, no wonder it can produce 46 episodes. Until he traveled to the world of quadrangle houses, Chen Zhixing was satisfied. Why, this play won't let roast. Roast was put into the play for him. It's really his mother evil. Fortunately, the benefits for the travelers were not lost. On the first day of his journey, Chen Zhixing knew he had brought the system. It just takes time for this system to start, loading 10% per day. In the first 7 days, Chen Zhixing was busy with his heels not touching the ground, so he had no time to study. He has been resting for the past 3 days and doesn't do anything else. He just sits at the door, watching the blue sky. Occasionally glance at the progress bar of the system startup. Watching the progress bar progress from 70% to 100%, it's finally time to load it today. Chen Zhixing is very excited about this. 3 years of disasters have just passed, and the country is in dire need of resources. At this time, it is not an easy task for ordinary people to just want to have a full meal. If you want to eat a bite of meat, you can only go to your dream to satisfy your craving. If Chen Zhixing doesn't have any problems, Chen Zhixing can be leisurely in this era. But now, as the only man in the Chen family, the heavy burden of this family is on him. Chen Zhixing has an elderly woman who is sick and a younger sister who is studying in junior high school. It can be said that he has a family. It's difficult to support oneself with 2 mouths. I hope to develop a system that can give me 300 pounds of meat every day. Chen Zhixing tilted his lips and smiled. Just thinking about something. The voice of Mother Yuan Xiufan came from inside the room. De air, pour me a glass of water. Come on. Chen Zhixing responded and got up to return to the room. Chapter 2. Any evil will be brought to justice. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Mom, drink water. Chen Zhixing handed out an enamel cup. I've been busy with you these days. You can sit and rest while Mom talks to you about something. Yuan Xiufen took a few sips of the waterway. Mom, you say. Chen Zhixing brought a small horse and sat by the bed. Your father has gone, and you are the only man in our family. Do you have any thoughts? Yuan Xiufen asked. Mom, I just want to take good care of you and your sister. Chen Zhixing pursed his lips. Okay, it's good if you have this heart. Before, your father was still here, and he was in charge of managing all the big things at home. From now on, our family will have to rely on you, you have to stand on your side. Tomorrow, don't take care of me at home. Go to the street to get a certificate and go to the steel rolling mill to take care of your father's position as soon as possible. Working outside is not as good as working at home, we have to. Yuan Xiufen rambled on and on. Teach Chen Zhixing how to deal with people and avoid being excluded when he goes to the steel rolling mill. Chen Zhixing listened quietly, nodding occasionally to show that he had been taught. Hey, the factory gave me 300 yuan in compensation, all of which I spent. If you keep it, it would be great to marry you when you grow up to 2 years old. Yuan Qiulan sighed and tears flashed in her eyes. She blamed herself and said, My illness has come at a bad time, it has dragged down your siblings. Mom, money is a bastard, spend it and earn it. A child with a mother is like a treasure, and a child without a mother is like a blade of grass. If you don't have one, my sister and I will be really miserable. Chen Zhixing is relieved. Yuan Qiulan wiped away her tears and felt better in her heart. After taking a few more sips of water, she advised, when you go to the steel rolling mill, you must choose the internal work team. Don't stand out when you encounter something, and don't follow your father's example. Your father he is. Speaking of which, Yuan Qiulan remembered the deceased Chen Zhixing. Tears flowed out like a broken embankment. With her husband gone, the pillar of Yuan Qiulan's life collapsed in half. If it weren't for having a pair of children under her knee, she would have wanted to go with Chen Zhixing. Mom, don't cry, isn't there still me here? You have an eldest son and daughter, and in the future you will have a group of grandchildren. You need to take good care of yourself and help me and my sister take care of our children. The good days are still ahead. Chen Zhixing picked up good words to comfort. After crying for a while, Yuan Qiulan calmed down and said, Did you remember everything I just told you? Mom, I remember it all in my heart. Chen Zhixing nodded in confusion and said, Mom, what does the security department's internal control team mean? Isn't Dad from the internal control team? Don't ask those questions, I'll let you know when you choose the office team and come back. Yuan Qiulan sold a trick. Chen Zhixing didn't continue to ask, but comforted his mother a few more words and continued to stay at the door. Looking up at the sky. Ding! Suddenly, a mechanical reminder sounded in Chen Zhixing's mind. Here we go. Chen Zhixing's spirit lifted up, good guy, finally got back to business. Other people's systems are all big farms, with check.in and other tasks. They spend endless amounts of resources every day, and can provide meat for over 10,000 employees in the entire steel rolling plant. He has been waiting for this system for a full 10 days, giving away 300 pounds of meat every day is not enough. Suddenly, a video appeared before Chen Zhixing's eyes. In the video, a young man wearing camouflage military uniform and looking similar to movie star Wu Jing, poses in several combat positions and then shouts loudly. Any evil will be brought to justice. It is also accompanied by a melodious BGM, giving off a sense of thieves. After saying these words, a golden light shone above the young man's head, and the entire background turned bright yellow. It looks funny and has some abstract connotations. At the end of the video, Chen Zhixing had only one idea in his mind. What the hell is this? Show him a video when the system is turned on. Thank you. Ding, congratulations to the host for awakening that any evil will be brought to justice, system. Chen Zhixing's face hurt and he silently said in his heart, System, what is your role? The system responds one by one. Soon, Chen Zhixing understood the purpose of the system. Any evil the name is too long. Chen Zhixing directly renamed the system as the anti-evil system. The function of the anti-crime system is to assist him in conducting investigations, apprehending, and punishing evil. After punishing evil, you can obtain a treasure chest reward. According to the severity of the event, the rewards for the treasure chest can be divided into bronze, silver, gold, diamonds, and so on. As for what can be opened from the treasure chest, Chen Zhixing has not opened the chest yet, so it is currently unknown. I can't even eat meat, and this thing doesn't work either. Chen Zhixing was slightly disappointed. On second thought, the system seemed to fit his job as a security guard very well. Not bad either. No matter whether he is happy or not, the system has already been bound, and if he is not happy, he can only make do with it. System, where is my beginner gift package? Chen Zhixing communicates with the system in his heart. Feeling unhappy, he didn't speak too politely. Bring it to you. Novice rewards are being distributed. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a copy of Future Technology Genetic Modification Liquid. The skill is unpredictable, and there is plenty of space to carry around. The system produces an emotionless sound. In Chen Zhixing's line of sight, a green liquid in a glass bottle appeared. The unpredictable skills and personal space are directly distributed by the system and bound to Chen Zhixing. System, can I give some of this genetic modification solution to others? Chen Zhixing immediately thought of his mother Yuan Xiufan. A bottle of genetically modified liquid is visually 100 milliliters, and 1/10 of it is given to the mother to drink. It is not desired to transform the mother into a genetic warrior, but rather to ensure good health. The beginner gift pack is only allowed for the host to use and is invalid for others' use. System prompt. Get it. Chen Zhixing pursed his lips, took out the genetically modified liquid, opened the bottle cap, and gulped it down in one gulp. After transforming the liquid into the body, Chen Zhixing felt as if there was a fire burning inside his body. The fire burned from the chest, flowing along the meridians of the body towards all four limbs. Chen Zhixing's face showed a hint of bitterness, and he gritted his teeth to hold on. After a full 5 minutes, the pain in his body disappeared. Chen Zhixing lowered his head and glanced at his arm, exerting a slight force as his muscles, filled with a sense of strength, began to tense. Just like steel poured out. Previously, Chen Zhixing's physical fitness was average. After taking genetically modified liquid, he felt like he could kill a cow with just one punch, like a little superhero. Good health is the capital of revolution. Having a good body is the most fundamental foundation for standing firm. Chen Zhixing was overjoyed. Start checking your personal space. With a thought, Chen Zhixing saw an empty space, about 30 meters long, 15 meters wide, and about 3 meters high. Slightly larger than a standard-sized basketball court. Chen Zhixing wanted to put the small horse stool under his buttocks into his personal space. Not successful. He placed one hand on the small stool and once again stored the object. This time, the small stool appeared smoothly in the personal space. It turns out we need to touch it with our palms. Chen Zhixing summarized the pattern and casually grabbed an ant on the ground, trying to bring it into his personal space. Storage failed. Chen Zhixing tried the insect on the ground again, but still failed. After trying more than 10 times, Chen Zhixing roughly figured out the usage of his personal space. Touching objects with your hands allows you to store them in your personal space. If you want to take it out, just one thought is enough. Live animals cannot be placed in personal space. After understanding the usage of personal space, Chen Zhixing looked at the newly acquired skill that was difficult to predict. Chapter 3. Difficulties in Human Mind. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The human heart is ghostly and difficult to survey. Those who are righteous may have a stomach full of bad water. Those who slaughter dogs and pigs also have acts of righteousness. Good and bad, good and evil, are all in one thought. The unpredictability of human emotions endows the host with the ability to survey the good and evil thoughts of others towards the host, hoping that the host can use this ability to bind all the wrongdoers in the world. After reading the skill introduction, Chen Zhixing touched his chin. This skill may seem mundane, but it is very useful. The human heart is inherently an elusive thing that changes with time and status. Being able to perceive the good and bad attitudes of others towards oneself greatly reduces the probability of being deceived. It's best to find someone to experiment with. Chen Zhixing's gaze scanned the courtyard. Coincidentally, the old lady of the Jia family, who lives next door, is out. She held a small horse stool in her right hand, a bamboo basket in her left hand, with needles and thread inside, and a pair of coated 1,000-layer bottoms. Chen Zhixing looked at Jia Zhang and used an unpredictable skill. Vaguely, Chen Zhixing felt that Jia and Zhang had some malice towards him. I'm cutting grass, I didn't do anything, why does the old lady still hate me? Chen Zhixing rose in his heart and took back his eyes. He secretly listed Jia Zhang as a cautious person to interact with. After completing the experiment, Jia Zhang and Chen Zhixing sneaked to the front yard and tested with a group of aunties in the front yard. There are a few aunties with a hint of goodwill, most of whom have a very ordinary attitude, while there is no malice. Chen Zhixing speculated that it may be the tragic experience of his own family that has raised sympathy among several aunties. As for the majority of people's attitude, Chen Zhixing can also understand. Chen Zhetian's sacrifice on duty was a collapse for the Chen family. For the others in the courtyard, having a fart-like relationship with them is nothing more than gossip after tea and dinner. Chen Zhixing tested Yuan Xiufen, and Yuan Xiufen showed him full care and expectations. Sure enough, only mothers are good in the world. Which mother doesn't want her child to succeed? Chen Zhixing was moved in his heart and became even more determined to make his mother Yuan Xiufen and younger sister Chen Ning live a good life. Time passed by and Chen Zhixing got up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, carrying a small stool into the room. It's time to cook dinner. Originally, all the meals at home were cooked by Yuan Xiufen. Now Yuan Xiufen has fallen ill, and her younger sister Chen Ning has to go to school. Most of the household chores fall on Chen Zhixing. Chen Zhixing's cooking skills are very average, but he doesn't have many major dishes these days. There are all kinds of pickled cabbage, sour and spicy potato chips and other side dishes, and Chen Zhixing's cooking is not bad. The staple food is wawatu and Armenian mantu. The mantu of noodles was prepared for Yuan Xiufen, and Chen Zhixing and Chen Ning ate wawatu. Wawatu is made by mixing corn flour and soybean flour. Even if steamed, it is still tough and chewy slowly with plain water when eating. The benefit is that it is easy to fill the stomach. At around 5 o'clock, little sister Chen Ning returned with her backpack on her back. Mom, brother. After greeting, Chen Ning put down her backpack and ran over to Yuan Xiufen to inquire about her mother's situation. Wash your hands and prepare to eat. Chen Zhixing took out the vegetables from the pot and instructed Chen Ning. Chen Ning washed her hands, went to the edge of the cabinet to get bowls and chopsticks, and helped Yuan Xiufen sit on the dining chair. Brother, your cooking skills are getting better and better. Chen Ning picked up a chopstick of food and praised it. Chen Zhixing smiled slightly. Yuan Xiufen inquired about Chen Ning's academic situation. Chen Zhixing listened on the side and was also very concerned about his younger sister's studies. Chen Ning is currently in the second year of junior high school and will soon be promoted to the third year. Getting into high school in the third year of junior high school is a very important level. After being admitted to high school, one can be assigned a job. If I were to be admitted to college, that would be even worse. A great thing that belongs to the ancestral tomb emitting green smoke. Both of them are concerned about Chen Zhixing's situation, which will have an impact on Chen Ning's academic performance. Upon learning that Chen Ning still maintained the top 3 grades in the class, Yuan Xiufen and Chen Zhixing were relieved. After finishing the meal, Chen Ning tidied up the dishes. "Mom, it's getting cooler outside. I'll help you go out and sit down," Chen Zhixing said. Yuan Xiufen nodded. Just as he was about to get up, there was a knocking sound at the door. Dong dong. Chen Zhixing tilted his head and saw an old man standing at the door wearing a blue robe, with a Chinese-style face and upright hair. The old man is Yi Zhonghai, an old man from the courtyard. "Grandpa, what's up?" Chen Zhixing inquired. "I'll come and see how Mrs. Chen's health is. If something big happens in your family, I, as an old man, should care about it." Yi Zhonghai stood at the door with a smile on his face. "You come in quickly." Chen Zhixing greeted and poured a cup of hot water for Yi Zhonghai, then threw a flower tea into it. Chen Zhixing loved to drink floral tea during his lifetime, and his family prepared some at home. When guests enter, families with a bit of attention must offer hot tea. Zhixing has grown up in a blink of an eye. The young man is handsome and energetic, very good. Yi Zhonghai took the enamel cup and praised it with a smile. Chen Zhixing smiled and remained silent. "I secretly thought to myself that Lao Deng would climb the 3 Treasures Hall for nothing. My mother has been back for 3 days now, so I only thought about coming to greet her today. Grandpa, please worry, I'm almost in good health." Yuan Xiufen squeezed out a smiling face. Yi Zhonghai added a few more casual words and said, "Actually, I have something else to discuss with you on this trip." "You said." Yuan Xiufen became more serious. "Jia Tian has gone, and I am also very sad. He has left, and you 3 of you still have to live." Yi Zhonghai made a start. Yuan Xiufen listened quietly. Knowing the words behind Yi Zhonghai is the right thing. Zhixing is a good child, graduated from a vocational school, and Jia Tian is a martyr. The street side will definitely give him a good job. You have 2 jobs in your family, and only Zhixing can work, which is a waste of time. Coincidentally, Director Feng from our factory's logistics department wanted to find a job for his son, so I told him about your family's situation. Director Feng is willing to pay to buy the security department job quota left by your father at the steel rolling mill to help your family overcome difficulties. Do you think so? Yi Zhonghai spoke clearly at once and looked at Yuan Xiufen. Obviously, he felt that the Chen family was still at the mercy of Yuan Xiufen. Chen Zhixing is young after all, and if he wants to be the master of the family, he must wait until he gets married and starts his own business. Chen Zhixing feels strange listening. How precious are the job quotas for the security department of the steel rolling mill? Unless in extremely special circumstances, it will not circulate in the market at all. Director Feng wants to buy a job quota for the Chen family, which is understandable, but according to Yi Zhonghai, it seems like he is giving the Chen family an opportunity. Selling job opportunities together with the Chen family, we still have to be grateful to Director Feng. I'm not sure about this. Yuan Xiufen struggled to make a decision for a moment and thought for a moment before saying, "What do you think, Grandpa?" "It sounds good, but this matter is too big and we have to be cautious." Subconsciously, Yuan Xiufen wanted to seek the opinion of Yi Zhonghai. After all, Yi Zhonghai has been a master in the courtyard for so many years and has a good reputation. We can't trap a resident in a courtyard. Chapter 4. Selling Job Quota. You are listening at novelfull.audio. De co lois ara trong quadrangle text. Chapter 5. Evil Things in Hutongs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother, you're talking nonsense. Why didn't I see it? Chen Ning leaned in and mercilessly exposed it. You're just in junior high school, what do you understand? Hurry up and do your homework. Chen Zhixing raised his hand. Chen Ning quickly fled, still not convinced. Director Wang is a working woman who doesn't smoke or drink. Can she be happy if you bring her cigarettes and alcohol? She doesn't smoke or drink, where is her partner? Where is her father? Little girl, there's a lot of talk in the movie. If you talk again, I'll cut you off. Chen Zhixing threatened. You're right to think that way. No matter when, being a person and doing things are things that come and go with human relationships. Yuan Xiufen had a smile on her face and was very happy in her heart. Mom, do we have tobacco, alcohol, and tea at home? Chen Zhixing inquired. Before you graduated, your father was busy arranging work for you. Director Wang gave you a gift. We have run out of alcohol and tea at home. Yuan Xiufen shook her head. Tobacco, alcohol, and tea are very precious gifts at this time. The Chen family has decent family conditions, but they are not wealthy enough to store cigarettes, alcohol, and tea at home. Spend a high price to buy something when you need it. Chen Zhixing was deeply moved and didn't expect his father to pave the way and build a bridge for him before. If my dad hadn't had any problems, it would have been natural to arrange his work. Unfortunately, people have unpredictable misfortunes and blessings. It's too late to buy now. I'll decorate some snacks for you and send them to Director Wang. You go and talk to Director Wang carefully, hurry up and finalize this matter. Yuan Xiufen came up with a solution. Okay, going to someone else's house and carrying something is better than having empty hands. Chen Zhixing nodded. There are no valuable gifts at home, so there's no way. We can only make ends meet first. Yuan Xiufen took a backpack, filled half a bag with melon seeds, peanuts, and a small amount of sugar, and handed it to Chen Zhixing. Chen Zhixing checked the buttons on his backpack and carried it on his back. Brother, I'm going too. Chen Ning looked expectant after a distance. I think giving gifts is a novelty. I'm going out to do some business while you take care of Mom at home. Chen Zhixing packed his backpack and reminded him to turn around and leave. De Air, please wait for a moment. I've seen Director Wang, what are you going to say? Yuan Xiufen is not at ease. Director Wang is a smart person, we don't have to play tricks on her. When Chen Zhixing was just thinking about something, he immediately took Yuan Xiufen as Director Wang and explained the current situation and demands of the Chen family. After listening quietly, Yuan Xiufen added, You're right. When you go to Director Wang's house, you must be polite. Don't think you're a vocational school student, just do what you say, as if they should arrange your work for you. Okay Mom, I've kept it all in my heart. Chen Zhixing is very obedient to advice. Go ahead, I'm waiting for your good news. Yuan Xiufen patted Chen Zhixing's arm, feeling both worried and hopeful in her heart. In the past, Chen Zhixing used to handle major family matters. Now, the burden of the family will fall on Chen Zhixing. I don't know if the child can handle it. Chen Zhixing carried his backpack and went out to the front yard. An old man with big black framed glasses, sharp-mouthed monkey cheeks, and rolling eyes was strolling around his doorstep. Third Master, can I borrow your bicycle for a trip when I go out to do something? Chen Zhixing asked politely. Zhixing, I still need to go out at this point. What's the urgent matter? Yan Fugue lifted his glasses and casually asked. I'm not in a hurry about a small matter. If I don't do it, I always feel like it's on my mind. Chen Zhixing said vaguely. You are a down-to-earth child. Borrow my car, I can rest assured. But you know my rules. I sympathize with your family's difficulties, but the rules cannot be broken. Yan Fugue talked about the main matter. I know, borrowing a car costs 30 cents per trip. Chen Zhixing took out a stack of scattered tickets from his pocket and handed them 3 cents. Okay, you can ride your bike and go early and return early. Yan Fugue smiled and accepted the money, and his attitude improved a lot. Chen Zhixing pushed his bicycle out. Yan Fugue continued to take a walk and just took a few steps when someone walked towards him. What did the Chen family kid borrow your car for? Yi Zhonghai pretended to be casual and asked. He said to do something small, but I didn't ask in detail. Yan Fugue grinned and said, what's going on between you and him? A small matter, he'll return the car later. Can you help me ask again by the way? Yi Zhonghai's words are vague. I don't want to expose my work for Director Feng. Buying the position left by Qin Jiatian for 400 yuan, if this news spreads, it is easy to be poked in the back. Affects his good reputation. Cheng. Yan Fugue nodded, pondering in his heart that there must be something between Yi Zhonghai and Chen Zhixing. Wait until he asks Chen Zhixing something, then take a look. Outside the courtyard. Chen Zhixing rode his bicycle and headed towards Director Wang's house. He felt a bit restless in his heart. I came to ask for someone, but there was no gift at home that I could handle, so it was just a matter of time. As the old saying goes, it's not surprising to have many gifts. The recipient of the gift cannot dislike giving too many gifts. Who doesn't want something for nothing? Sending some snacks to Director Wang is far from enough in terms of strength. If Director Wang agrees to arrange a good job for Chen Zhixing, the Chen family can sell the job position in the security department of the steel rolling mill. Compared to the gift given to Director Wang, that is definitely a huge gain. The Chen family is currently facing difficulties and there are indeed no decent gifts. Chen Zhixing can only take one step at a time and watch one step at a time. He hopes that Director Wang can provide more assistance to the Chen family in the event of his father Qin Jiatian's sacrifice on duty and previous interactions. The bicycle passed through an alley, and Chen Zhixing suddenly heard the sound of arguments coming from inside the alley. Old thing, if I give you half a month, why don't you just give the man 1 yuan to pass the beggar? Do you still want to collect rags in this area? I don't have 3 yuan today, I'm so tender. 2 gentlemen, I'm a rag picker, starving and feeding, and also raising a granddaughter. How can I have money? Please be kind to me. If I give you another half month, I will definitely collect more junk to buy cigarettes for you. Pop. A crisp slap rang out in the alley. Then came the sound of fists landing on the flesh, accompanied by the old man's mournful cries. Chen Zhixing stopped his bicycle. An old man who extorts garbage from thugs. What kind of thing is this? After taking genetic drugs, Chen Zhixing's 5 senses significantly increased, capturing the sounds and movements in the alleyway. With a little thought, one can infer what the situation is in the alley. If he hadn't heard the commotion in the alley before, he would have finished riding his bike and walked by. Now listening to what's going on inside, if you don't pay attention, you always feel like something is missing in your heart. Suddenly, Chen Zhixing remembered something and his eyes lit up. Wipe, the punishment system has just been obtained. Isn't this a door-to-door order? Beating and robbing an old man is definitely a villain. Bringing the 2 thugs inside to justice and opening a bronze treasure chest is not excessive. Inside the alley. Damn it, hiding the money in your underwear makes you think I can't find it, right? With so much money, tell me I don't have any money. Bang. The thug was holding a stack of scattered tickets in his hand, looking very happy. Lift your leg and kick the old man hard. Sir, that's the money my granddaughter and I used to buy grain. If you take it away, we won't be able to survive. Sir, I beg you to give me half of it. The old man was kicked to the ground, ignoring the pain, and got up to grab the thug's calf. Get lost to me. Another thug lifted his leg and stepped on the old man's arm. The old man screamed in pain, but gritted his teeth and didn't let go. If a thug raises his leg, he will kick it. At the entrance of the alley, a voice came. "Hey, what are you doing? You two, robbing an old man picking up junk, do you want to show your face?" The sudden sound startled the two thugs. Both of them looked towards the direction of the alley entrance at the same time. A young man wearing a gray single coat, standing tall and straight, with sword eyebrows and starry eyes, pushed his bicycle over. Chapter 6. Testing Strength. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The person who came is Chen Zhixing. Originally, Chen Zhixing planned to call the public security to come and arrest two thugs in the alley. Bring the wicked to justice. Even if you have completed the task and can call others to work, why bother working hard on your own? As Kuyen watched these two thugs prepare to leave, Chen Zhixing had to personally mount his horse. "I have taken genetic medicine and have not yet engaged in physical activity with anyone. Chen Zhixing also wants to test his current level of strength. Young man, do something here. It's none of your business, get out of here." Seeing that there was only one person coming, the thug regained his courage. "I don't have any other hobbies, I just like to meddle in my own affairs. Give the money back to the master, let's take our matters into consideration." Chen Zhixing stood on his bicycle and looked at the two thugs in front of him. He himself is about 1.76 meters tall. After taking genetic medicine, his height slightly increased by 2 centimeters, and he wears shoes close to 1.8 meters. The two thugs in front of me were just over 1.7 meters tall, with dry and thin figures, like young men of later generations. In terms of height and arm span, Chen Zhixing thought to himself that he had an advantage. Combined with genetically modified physical fitness. It's not a big problem to have one enemy and two enemies. Thinking of this, Chen Zhixing felt a little excited in his heart. I don't know what reward the treasure chest can offer him. Boy, what the hell are you, your grandfather and me? The thug was furious and reached out to point at Chen Zhixing, cursing loudly. Before Chen Zhixing could answer, another thug grinned and said, "Kid, leave your bike and get out by yourself. I don't mind what you said earlier. Seizing bicycles is enough for you to get a 7 or 8 year sentence. Besides, even if you steal the bike, you won't be able to use it. What's the picture?" Chen Zhixing laughed angrily. He wanted to catch these two thugs, but he didn't expect them to have their minds on him. "We naturally have our way, who wants you to meddle in your own business? Hurry up and get out of here." The thug shook off the old man and walked towards Chen Zhi. Another thug keeps up. "Young man, hurry up and run." The old man lay on the ground, loudly reminding. "Old thing, I haven't tidied up for you yet, have I?" The thug turned his head and cursed low, continuing to approach Chen Zhixing. Chen Zhixing also walked towards the thug, with a hint of eagerness in his eyes. His goal is to test his practical skills. Moreover, capturing the two people in front of you can earn a system reward. Double happiness. Grass. The thug walking ahead saw Chen Zhixing moving forward instead of retreating, feeling provoked. After a low shout, he swung his fist and threw it at Chen Zhixing's nose. The thug has rich experience in fighting and knows that the nose is the key to a person. Once hit, it will be sour, spicy, salty, and bitter, squeezing into the person's head. The combat power of ordinary people is directly reduced by 50%. Faced with a punch, Chen Zhixing's eyes were burning. In his sight, this punch slowed down by at least 2 or 3 times, seemingly full of killing power, but it posed no threat to him. Chen Zhixing took a step back, and as soon as the thug's fist was swung, he immediately took a step forward. Give a punch. Bang Bang's hard fist hit the nose bridge of the thug straight and straight. The next moment. Ow! The bastard let out a scream, holding his nose in both hands, tears streaming down his nose. The brain melon seeds are buzzing. If it weren't for leaning against the walls of the alley, he would have fallen to the ground. Damn it! Another thug was furious and kicked Chen Zhixing with his legs up. He exerted all his strength in this kick. With one punch, Chen Zhixing defeated a thug, and his confidence in his own strength greatly increased. Faced with a fierce kick from his foot, he chose to take a frontal blow this time. Extend your hand, grab the other person's ankle, and pull in your direction. The thug's legs were suddenly pulled apart. Step on the ground with your left foot and hold your right foot in Chen Zhixing's hand. The upper body is suspended in the air, and the thug is full of fierce energy that cannot be unleashed. Chen Zhixing grabbed the gangster's right ankle and threw it hard towards the ground. The bastard pulled his legs together at a full 150 degrees and made a big fork that fell to the ground. Crying in pain. I didn't wait for the bastard to retrieve both legs. Chen Zhixing raised his foot and stepped on the thug's thigh. With his help, the thug spread his legs open and leaned against the ground at an angle of 180 degrees, completing a standard one-legged horse. Forcefully pulling a horse, the thug's thigh ligament was almost torn and he fell to the ground in pain, screaming uncontrollably. Sweat beads the size of beans sprouted from his forehead. In less than 30 seconds, Chen Zhixing cleaned up the two thugs. The old man lying on the ground straightened his eyes. Chen Zhixing felt slightly proud in his heart. Super Gene Potion, as expected, is not covered. If he had encountered such a thug before, he wouldn't have been able to stop anyone. How far can you turn your head and run? Now, Chen Zhixing just wants to shout. I want to hit 10. Grandpa, I'll keep an eye on these two people. Could you please go out and call the police over? Chen Zhixing instructed. He didn't forget the main matter. We need to bring the two thugs in front of us to justice in order to receive system rewards. Okay. Grandpa quickly got up from the ground. Who dares to call the police? Who the hell am I? With a crooked nose and a loud roar, he took out a spring knife from his pocket and pressed the switch. With a loud bang, the sharp blade jumped out. The old man was immediately frightened and motionless. The one-character horse gangster endured the excruciating pain, stood up against the wall, and also took out a spring knife from his pocket. His face was full of fierce colors. The two of them knew in their hearts that if the police caught them, they would take the stolen goods and be caught. It's common to judge for 10 or 8 years. I have been useless in this lifetime. Chen Zhixing's heart thumped. The other party brought a guy, it's difficult to handle now. The killing power of cold weapons on the human body is definitely incomparable to that of fists and feet. After taking genetic medicine, Chen Zhixing's body was strong and powerful, and his movements responded quickly. But he is ultimately human and will get hurt. Kid, I'll fuck your uncle. Aren't you very impressive? Give it another try. The crooked nose bridge wiped away tears and big snot bubbles, held up a spring knife, and shouted low at Chen Zhixing. Kill him. The one-character horse has two thighs together, one hand covering the crotch, and the other holding a spring knife. Staring fiercely at Chen Zhixing. Two brothers, please speak up and don't use knives or guns. It will hurt our harmony. Chen Zhixing took 2 steps back. No matter how confident he is in himself, he doesn't want to pick two thugs with weapons alone. In his past life, Chen Zhixing read a news article that claimed to be the champion of the MMA fighter contest in English, which is impressive. This forced me to eat barbecue and drink beer outside, and I started arguing with the young man at the next table. Relying on one's own ability to fight, one should not take others seriously. As a result, the young man at the adjacent table grabbed a dagger, swiped twice, and stabbed 2 eyes at the champion of the combat competition. The champion fell directly to the ground and belched. No matter how high your martial arts are, you are afraid of a kitchen knife. It's not a joke. Come on, if you're a man, let's have some more gestures. The crooked nose bridge held the spring knife, provoking. If you're a man, just put down the things in your hands. Chen Zhixing used words to provoke the other party. I'm sorry. A crooked nose bridge doesn't even make it onto the road. Glancing at the one-character horse, a fierce light appeared in their eyes. I suffered such a big loss today that I can't even sleep without revenge. Chapter 7. Force Hands. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chen Zhixing quietly took a step back. The heart secretly roast. Breaking the system gave him a genetic potion, without even martial arts skills. If he were given a master of Xingyi fist or Baji fist, even if the two thugs in front of him were wielding knives, he would dare to take action and defeat each other. Now. Chen Zhixing decisively stated that a man can bend and stretch. Little brat, come over here for me. The crooked nose bridge roared angrily. What kind of onion are you, dare to talk to me like that? Don't be fooled by the fact that you're holding a knife. Don't be fooled at all, let's give it a try. Chen Zhixing used words to provoke. The current situation is that the other party took a knife, and Chen Zhixing thought to himself that there was a risk. The one-character horse pulled its thigh and couldn't walk. If it could ignite the anger of the crooked nose bridge and make him rush over regardless. In a 1.1 conversation, even if crooked nose bridge has a knife in his hand, Chen Zhixing is not afraid. Breaking through each one was his chosen strategy of struggle. Kid, die for me. The crooked nose bridge couldn't bear the anger, and the palm holding the spring knife was raised high, charging forward with a fast step. Chen Zhixing was secretly pleased in his heart and turned around to run. One-character horse also wants to follow and catch up. He just performed a big split, and the egg under his crotch almost split in half. It's hard to walk, not to mention running with legs apart. The crooked nose bridge chased after him a few steps, and behind him came the shout of a one-character horse. Don't chase after him like a bully. This kid is very picky and deliberately provokes you to fight alone with him. Hurry back. Upon hearing this, crooked nose bridge stopped in its tracks. As soon as he stopped, Chen Zhixing in front also stopped running and turned to look at him with a gloomy gaze. The crooked nose bridge suddenly tightened in his heart. If it weren't for the one-word horse shouting in time, he would have fallen into Chen Zhixing's trap if he had chased after him 7 or 8 steps further. Chasing. Why don't you chase? I thought you had so much ability, just this little courage. Chen Zhixing pretended to be relaxed and continued to joke with his words. I was secretly angry in my heart, and my plan was almost successful. I didn't expect these two people to be really stupid. The crooked nose bridge bent over, wary of Chen Zhixing's sudden outburst and retreated step by step. He took a step back, and Chen Zhixing took a step forward. The two of them returned to their previous positions. Withdraw, this kid is very cunning, be careful not to capsize in the sewer. The word one-character horse is full of unwillingness. He can only walk with small steps in his current state. Unable to catch up with Chen Zhixing, delaying for a long time would be detrimental to them. Let's go. The crooked nose bridge wiped a bloody stain under its nose and quickly made a decision. The two of them were facing Chen Zhixing, stepping back step by step. Chen Zhixing's eyes narrowed slightly, and his heart was secretly anxious. Release these two people, who should go for the system reward he wants. But it's too dangerous to reward two criminals who fought hard with knives. What should his mother and sister do if something happens to him? For a moment, Chen Zhixing was caught in a dilemma. Two thugs and Chen Zhixing separated by 7 or 8 meters. The crooked nose bridge stared at Chen Zhixing and said harshly, "Kid, today is your lucky day. The man remembers your appearance, wait for me." One-character horse also grinned and threatened, "Mind your own business. When I recover from my injury, you will regret it." Chen Zhixing's eyes flashed with a cold color. The indecisive heart made up its mind in an instant. These two people must not be let go. Since they have formed a bond, even if they are injured, they must be caught, otherwise there will be endless troubles ahead. At the next moment, Chen Zhixing grabbed the single garment on his body with both hands and lifted it up. Taking off one's clothes, revealing a strong and agile body. Chen Zhixing stepped forward and walked towards the two thugs. As he walked, he wrapped his newly taken off jacket around his right fist. "Boy, do you want to die?" his mother. Upon seeing that Chen Zhixing's posture was not right, Crooked Nose Bridge threatened him. Chen Zhixing ignored and continued to approach. The Crooked Nose Bridge and one-character horse stopped retreating, and their eyes showed a glimmer of trapped beasts fighting for their lives. If they are caught by the public security for their wrongdoing, the disaster of 10 years in prison cannot escape. No, 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 no. Chen Zhixing and the two thugs got closer by 2 meters. Up. Crooked Nose Bridge whispered and took the lead in taking action. The one-character horse endured the excruciating pain and followed closely behind. 2 spring knives were stabbed in front and back, causing Chen Zhixing's eyes to widen and an abnormal red color to appear on his face. It's not fear, but a natural reaction in the body caused by the crazy secretion of the adrenal gland at the critical moment of life and death. Shwa. The dagger in the hand of Crooked Nose Bridge struck. Chen Zhixing took a step back and flashed the weapon. Before he could make a move, the spring knife in the hand of the one-character horse was handed over. Chen Zhixing took another step back. After taking several steps in a row, the one-character horse couldn't resist the pain of pulling its crotch and fell 1 step behind the Crooked Nose Bridge. Chen Zhixing is waiting for now. Seizing the opportunity, he punched fiercely and hit the chest of Crooked Nose Bridge. He didn't show any mercy on this punch. With a bang, the Crooked Nose Bridge trembled and fell directly to the ground. The spring knife in hand is powerless to fall. The one-character horse was shocked in his heart and didn't dare to continue swinging the spring knife forward. Chen Zhixing punched again and threw a punch at the horse. The one-character horse raised its sword and stabbed Chen Zhixing's arm. If this knife was solid, Chen Zhixing's arm would need to be cast in plaster. Chen Zhixing turned his right fist and hit the shoulder of the one-character horse with a punch. The other hand poked out, wanting to remove the spring knife from the one-character horse hand. Ah! The one-character horse suffered from pain, feeling both fear and resentment in its heart. The spring knife in its hand swung 3 times in a row. Chen Zhixing couldn't dodge with his left hand and was hit on his arm. Suddenly, the skin and flesh split apart. Grass. The blood turned red, but it actually aroused Chen Zhixing's ferocity. Suppressing the pain, he punched the head of the one-character horse hard. He exerted all his strength with this punch. With fierce force, the head of the one-character horse was thrown askew, hitting the wall of the alley heavily. A loud bang. The one-character horse seemed to have been drained of strength and collapsed on the ground. Damn it! Chen Zhixing grinned in pain and quickly squatted down to pick up the spring knife on the ground. Lest these 2 people take advantage of him not paying attention and give him a hard time. After confiscating the murder weapon, Chen Zhixing breathed a sigh of relief. Having weapons and not having weapons are 2 completely different types of combat. Even though he tried his best to think and strategize, he was still injured. "Young man, are you okay?" The old man picking up garbage twitched his eyes and asked. "It's not a big deal, sir. Hurry up and call the police," Chen Zhixing instructed. "I lament in my heart that punishing evil is really not easy to do. It's completely risking one's own life. If the system doesn't provide some fun, it's simply not appropriate to complete the first punishment task only after seeing red blood. Young man, if you persist, I'll go call someone." The old man ran out of the alley, running and shouting for help. Chen Zhixing leaned against the wall, feeling his body weak in waves. He knows this is a sequelae of a short-term secretion of a large amount of adrenal glands. Just take a break. Glancing down at the still bleeding arm, The wound is 10 centimeters long, and the skin on both sides is rolled outward, looking very terrifying. Grass. Chen Zhixing was so angry in his heart that he lifted his leg and kicked the one-character horse a few more times. The horse groaned in pain. After thinking for a moment, Chen Zhixing squatted down and used a spring knife to cut through the top of a horse, then cut a large piece of cloth off. Wrap your injured arm around it. Then he sat down on the ground, summarizing his experience of punishing evil for the first time. Firstly, my combat experience is too poor. Both in terms of physical fitness and physical fitness, Chen Zhixing had an advantage, but was injured. When the two thugs didn't have the murder weapon, they were okay, but Chen Zhixing easily beat them up. When the two thugs took out their weapons, Chen Zhixing felt a subconscious panic in his heart. Worried about getting hurt. This is an instinctive reaction of ordinary people. And the other party dared to fight their lives to avoid being caught by the police. Chen Zhixing's momentum has weakened by more than 1 point. If it weren't for the thug threatening to retaliate against him, which aroused Chen Zhixing's ruthlessness in his heart, he would very likely have let the other party leave. Chapter 8. Rich Rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Before they take the knife, I should have completely defeated them and not given them a chance to draw it. Chen Zhixing murmured softly, summarizing the mistakes he had made. After defeating two thugs with bare hands and empty fists, Chen Zhixing did not continue to fight, causing the two to pull out their weapons and almost overturn. Once you take action, you must defeat the opponent as quickly as possible, and even the lion and rabbit fight with all their might. Not giving the other person any chance is the greatest respect for them. It is also the greatest responsibility for oneself. Releasing a tiger back to the mountain will definitely bring retaliation, even if they don't say it. I shouldn't have any illusions to speculate on the opponent with the utmost malice. Chen Zhixing muttered to himself. The Chen family also has their mother Yuan Xiufan and sister Chen Ning. Chen Zhixing must not let them be harmed because of his own affairs. Hands on, we have to cut down the roots. Having a system of punishing evil, Chen Zhixing will definitely encounter more similar things when he understands himself. Now suffering a minor injury and changing one's mindset is worth it. It's best to learn some fighting skills and practice your legs and feet. Chen Zhixing reflected on himself. Despite having exceptional physical fitness, it is difficult to perform perfectly in combat. I only know Wang Baquan. If he had leg and foot skills, he would be 1 inch long and 1 inch strong. Even if the other person has a weapon in their hand and falls with one leg, they will not be injured. After summarizing the gains and losses of this battle, Chen Zhixing heard the roar of 3-wheeled sidecar motorcycles coming from outside the alley. Quickly, a few scattered footsteps walked towards the alley. Young man, are you okay? Comrades from the public security department are here. The old man shouted at Chen Zhixing from a long distance. Chen Zhixing stood up and waved his hand, indicating that there was no problem. The person is inside. The young man is injured and needs to be taken to the hospital. The old man picking up garbage leads the way ahead. Following behind were 3 uniformed police officers. Seeing the situation at the scene, the 3 police officers looked surprised. 2 thugs lay on the ground humming, with bloodstains on their mouths and noses. A young man wrapped his left arm in several loops of cloth, with blood oozing out, and held 2 spring knives in his right hand. Even if on the way, the old man told them about the incident and witnessed the situation with his own eyes, the 3 police officers felt strange in their hearts. A person, bare-handed, knocked over 2 criminals holding murder weapons. They can't believe it if they didn't see it with their own eyes. The grassroots public security has a very sharp gaze. From the injuries of the 2 thugs, it can be seen that the fight at that time must have been very intense. Public security comrades, this is their murder weapon. Chen Zhixing voluntarily handed the spring knife to the police. Young man, that's really good. The old police officer, led by him, took the spring knife and gave Chen Zhixing a thumbs up before asking, "Do you look young and have a job?" Seeing Chen Zhixing's outstanding performance, the old police officer cherishes his talents and wants to develop offline work. Just graduated from vocational school, waiting for the street to arrange work. Chen Zhixing smiled and said, "Yo, he's a talented student, a serious and decent young man." The old police officer grinned and patted Chen Zhixing's shoulder. The other two police officers took out handcuffs and handcuffed the crooked nose bridge and the straight line horse. "Get up!" The police shouted angrily at the two thugs. Two thugs were lying on the ground groaning, their bodies in severe pain, but they hadn't fully recovered. The police forcibly lifted the one-character horse and crooked nose bridge. The two of them screamed in pain, unable to stand steadily, almost hanging from the police officer's body. "Comrade Public Security, the situation was critical just now. I didn't know the severity of my actions and beat people like this. Can't you come to me for help?" Chen Zhixing felt slightly awkward. "Huh, I can't do it." The old police officer laughed heartily and ordered the other two police officers, "Take the person back to the bureau and slowly investigate." Two police officers dragged the thugs towards the outside of the alley. "Grandpa, come back with me and help me make a note." The old police officer looked at the old man. "Okay, I'll follow your arrangements." The old man nodded repeatedly and looked at Chen Zhixing. "Young man, thank you so much. I feel really sorry for the injury that caused you. Take this money and buy some eggs to supplement your health." Speaking, the old man took out $1 from his pocket and handed it to Chen Zhixing. "Grandpa, please keep this money and buy some snacks for your granddaughter." Chen Zhixing pushed back with both hands and firmly refused to accept. After finishing the task, he looked at the old police officer and said, "Comrade police officer, how long will it take to make a record? I still have something to do. You young man, come with me to the hospital first. This can be considered as a work-related injury. If I don't care about you, it's not decent." The old police officer said, "I really have an urgent matter to attend to. How about I go ahead and handle it first, and then go to the Public Security Bureau to find you after I finish? Chen Zhi's behavior is questionable. Young man, nothing is as important as your own health. Come with me to the hospital and let's take your notes in the car. If it delays your business, I will go with you to handle the matter and help you explain." The old police officer couldn't help but drag Chen Zhixing out. "Hey, I need to bring my bike together." Chen Zhixing couldn't resist and could only rely on the old police. "Take the car together." The old police officer saw that Chen Zhixing's arm was injured, and without saying a word, he picked up his bicycle by himself. Stepping out of the alley, Chen Zhixing saw two sidecar tricycles. In this era, the number of cars owned is very rare, and even law enforcement agencies like the Public Security Bureau may only have one or two cars available. Going out to handle cases mainly involves cycling. When encountering urgent situations, use a motorcycle or a three-wheeled scooter with a sidecar. A three-wheeled motorcycle with a sidearm is placed on the right side of a normal motorcycle, with a sidearm added. Compared with normal two-wheeled motorcycles, sidecar motorcycles have greatly improved their ability to carry people and loads. Divide into two groups. One group takes the suspect back to the police station and makes a record of the interrogation. A group of people will drive me to the nearest Red Star hospital first, and I will take the little brothers for treatment. My husband gave instructions. Immediately, a police officer returned to the police station with a thug and an old man. For safety reasons, the police tied the legs and feet of two thugs together with ropes and threw them into a shoulder bag. Two thugs stacked together, limping on the car like dead dogs. A police officer took the old police officer and Chen Zhixing to the hospital. The bicycle is tied to the back of the sidecar. Chen Zhixing was riding a sidecar tricycle for the first time and excitedly touched the car body. "Just sit inside the sidearm. Young man, you can sit in the back and leave this elegant seat for me to use as a pen. The old police officer held a pen and paper in his hand and smiled as he spoke. Chen Zhixing felt a bit regretful and sat behind the police officer driving. Young man, what's your name? The old police officer sat down and began to inquire. Chen Zhixing was about to answer when a mechanical prompt suddenly sounded in his mind. The host strikes the criminals, brings them to justice, and rewards them with a bronze treasure chest. A person wandering in the rivers and lakes can't avoid being stabbed. If it is detected that the host is injured during the process of apprehending the criminal, a medical kit will be rewarded. The host successfully completed the punishment mission for the first time, and received an additional reward of the Great Master of Xingyi Fist skill card. With 3 consecutive warning sounds, Chen Zhixing seemed to have been hit by a sugar-coated bullet, and he was completely amused. I'll be obedient. A bronze treasure chest, a medicine chest, and a Xingyi Fist master card. This system works. If it weren't for sitting on the sidecar now, Chen Zhixing would have to open the treasure chest and take a look. Chapter 9. Dr. Zhua from Red Star Hospital. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Young man, what are you thinking? Husband reached out his hand and waved in front of Chen Zhixing. Ah. Chen Zhixing came to his senses and casually gave a reason. I was thinking, can't I spend money when I go to the hospital later? Huh, you kid, you didn't want to go to the hospital with me because you were worried about this. Don't worry, what you have done is a heroic act of righteousness and bravery. Medical expenses can be paid through the public account. I will help you advance the payment first, and then I will bring the receipt to the bureau for reimbursement. Husband couldn't help but laugh. I think Chen Zhixing is quite interesting. Chen Zhixing restrained his emotions and cooperated in taking notes. Let's start over. Names. Chen Zhixing, the Chen of Yerdong Chen, the combination of knowledge and action. Home address. Number 95, South Goyuo Lane, 49 Cities Courtyard. Tell me about the incident and go into detail. I was riding my bike for a stroll when I heard someone coming from the alley. Chen Zhixing told the story very clearly. The old police officer held a pen and recorded at lightning speed. In less than 10 minutes, a written record is completed. The sidecar happened to arrive at the entrance of Red Star Hospital. On the way, besides taking notes, Chen Zhixing and his husband chatted leisurely for a while. The real name of the old public security officer is Xiao Hoxin, and he is the deputy captain of the local public security bureau. He immediately knows the age of fate. Chen Zhixing called him Uncle Xiao. Wait for us to come out here. Xiao Hoxin got off the car and casually instructed the small police officer to drive. Haole deputy team. The little police officer nodded and responded. Brother, I have some snacks here to pass the time. Chen Zhixing grabbed a handful of melon seeds and peanuts from his backpack and handed them to the police officer. Xiao Gong'an didn't answer and looked at Xiao Hoxin. You kid, you're too brave. The person who bribed me in front of me, right? Xiao Hoxin made a joke. Uncle Xiao, you misunderstood me. This is not a bribe, I am purely grateful to the police officer for driving me to the hospital. I just think that's what I should do. I really didn't want to make friends or anything. To put it bluntly, this matter is over. Who remembers who it is? Chen Zhixing expressed his attitude. I'm teasing you. Xiao Hoxin smiled and said, you have this heart, I understand it. I can't let you suffer. Chen Zhixing didn't understand what it meant to prevent him from suffering losses. He didn't have a good time asking in detail. Xiao Chen has given it all, don't keep them waiting, accept it. After finishing speaking to the police, Xiao Hoxin reminded them, don't throw the broken melon seeds and peanut peels on the ground. Pack them up neatly yourself. Got it, Lieutenant. The little police officer received the order and happily took the snack handed by Chen Zhixing, saying, thank you, buddy. Don't thank me, it's a small matter. Chen Zhixing smiled and waved his hand. Let's go. Xiao Hoxin took the lead and walked towards the gate of Red Star Hospital. Chen Zhixing followed closely behind. Entering the hospital, Xiao Hoxin went straight to the registration office and asked the nurse, "Comrade, has Dr. Zhua Zhengye left work yet? There is a surgery that requires him to perform." "Comrade, Dr. Zhua has just worked overtime to complete the final surgery and cannot arrange the surgery. There are other surgeons in our hospital. Where is the patient? Let him come and register." The little nurse watched as Xiao Hoxin wore a police uniform and spoke politely. "Xiao Chen, come and register." Xiao Hoxin handed Chen Zhixing 2 cents and advised, after hanging up, "Don't inquire. I'll go see Dr. Zhua to discuss and ask him to arrange the surgery for you." After speaking, Xiao Hoxin went into the hospital to find someone. Chen Zhixing filled out the information and handed it to the nurse along with 2 cents for registration fee. The little nurse handed back the registration receipt to Chen Zhixing and casually asked, "Brother, are you a relative of that old comrade just now?" "No, what's wrong?" Chen Zhixing shook his head and said in confusion. "Dr. Zhua is the best surgeon at our Red Star Hospital. It's a big favor to ask him to work overtime for surgery." The little nurse smiled and said, "Really, then I'm lucky this time." Chen Zhixing thought to himself that Uncle Xiao is quite a good person. Do a regular surgery and find a good doctor specifically for him. Thinking of what Xiao Hoxin said just now, I won't let him suffer. I guess it falls on finding Dr. Zhua Zhengye. Not long after, Xiao Hoxin arrived at the hall with a middle-aged man wearing a white coat and glasses. "Xiao Chen, come here." Xiao Hoxin waved at Chen Zhixing. "This is Dr. Zhua Zhengye from Red Star Hospital. He will be in charge of your suturing surgery later." Xiao Hoxin introduced Chen Zhixing. "Hello Dr. Zhua." Chen Zhixing quickly said hello. "You are what Captain Xiao said, Chen Zhixing, who acted bravely and captured 2 criminals. It's true that heroes emerge from youth." Zhua Zhengye praised. On the way over, Xiao Hoxin introduced him to the reason for this surgery. Zhua Zhengye was originally eager to leave work, but learned that it was a young man who acted bravely and was injured. He decided to undergo another surgery. "Hi, I was just momentarily angry. If you let me do it again, maybe I wouldn't dare." Chen Zhixing said humbly. Zhua Zhengye chuckled and said, "Let's go with me to the consultation room and take a look at the condition of the wound first." The 3 of them went together to Zhua Zhengye's consultation room. Halfway, Chen Zhixing turned to look at Xiao Hoxin and said, "Uncle Xiao, the nurse just told me that Dr. Zhua is the best surgeon at Red Star Hospital. He asked you to kindly help invite Dr. Zhua over." "Thank you very much. You give my subordinates a snack, I can't just give it away." Xiao Hoxin's mouth curved slightly. Doing good deeds is certainly good, making people feel more at ease. Xiao Hoxin is no exception. "I just gave you some snacks, how could I ask Dr. Zhua to help me with my medical treatment?" Chen Zhixing said earnestly. "In my opinion, it's all the same. You're young, and in 2 years, you'll have to find a partner. There's a scar on your arm that affects your ability to find a partner. Other doctors are not as skilled as Lao Zhua. Let Lao Zhua undergo surgery, I can rest assured." Xiao Hoxin explained with a smile. Chen Zhixing can only keep this affection in his heart. Release goodwill towards others, and others also release goodwill towards him. This feeling is very comfortable. Zhua Zhengye listened from the side, with a smile on his face. Being recognized by others for one's business ability is a very proud thing. After arriving at the consultation room and examining the wound, Zhua Zhengye confirmed the surgical plan. Clean the wound, disinfect, administer anesthesia needles, and suture. The entire process takes less than half an hour to complete. When the anesthesia is over, the wound may feel a bit painful. Please endure it. Before the wound heals, don't do too much work with this hand. After the wound heals, remove the stitches. Sui Zhengye instructed. Thank you, Dr. Zhua. Chen Zhixing bowed slightly to express gratitude. Xiao Hoxin paid the medical expenses and the three of them went out together. Dr. Zhua, thank you for your hard work. Have some snacks on the way. Chen Zhixing took out a handful of melon seeds and peanuts from his backpack. Sui Zhengye declined twice, but couldn't resist Chen Zhixing. He reluctantly accepted his snacks and put them in his pocket. As Sui Zhengye rode his bicycle away, Chen Zhixing took out a handful of melon seeds and peanuts and handed them to Xiao Hoxin. Xiao Hoxin was not polite and smiled as he took it over, saying, Xiao Chen, where are you going for business? I'll take you there. Goodbye, there's still work waiting for you at the end of the bureau. I'll just ride my bike over there. Chen Zhixing refused. Now he wants to be alone and take a good look at the rewards given by the system. Xiao Hoxin didn't force it either. The police officer helped to remove the bicycle from behind the sidecar and stand it on the ground. Uncle Xiao, take your time. Chen Zhixing waved his hand. Xiao Hoxin raised his hand without looking back and waved. The sidecar tricycle quickly disappeared from Chen Zhixing's sight. Chen Zhixing got on his bicycle and drove towards Director Wang's house. Delayed for almost 2 hours, and the sky turned dark. Halfway through, Chen Zhixing's car swung to the right and entered a small alley. Confirm that there is no one else in the alley, Chen Zhixing opens the system. A bronze treasure chest, a skill card, and a medical kit appeared before his eyes. Chapter 10. Encountering Dr. Zhuo again. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chen Zhixing's heart was filled with passion. Opened a bronze treasure chest first. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 2 Chinese cigarettes, 2 bottles of Fengjiu, and 2 boxes of jasmine tea. The system prompt sounds. I'll go, it's fun. Chen Zhixing was pleasantly surprised. He is worried about going to Director Wang's house, as there are no precious gifts. Unexpectedly, the bronze treasure chest directly opened a 3-piece set of tobacco, wine and tea, which is really awesome. Moreover, the tobacco, alcohol, and tea produced by the system are all high-quality products. Zhonghua cigarettes are the top-tier cigarettes in China, developed directly by senior management. After production, it will be transported to central and southern China for senior leaders to test draw. Having received unanimous recognition from senior management, Zhonghua cigarettes began mass production. To entertain foreign guests, we use Chinese cigarettes, with a high-end style. Speaking of alcohol. Maotai, Wuliangye, Shifeng, Luzhou Laojiao, and Jiananshan are certainly good, but if you want to say who the big brother of 4 or 9 cities liquor is, it must be Fengjiu. Sauce-flavored Maotai is high-end enough, and not all alcoholics like that flavor. Fragrant Fengjiu, with a focus on cleanliness. The quality of the wine is clean, the taste is clean, and the aroma is clean. As long as someone who enjoys drinking alcohol, no one can refuse to get Fengjiu. Speaking of tea. The water quality in the 4 or 9 cities is slightly bitter. Regardless of what kind of black tea or green tea it is, rinse it out with the water from the 4 or 9 cities and keep it safe. Only floral tea can match the water of the 4 or 9 cities. Among floral teas, jasmine tea is also the most popular among residents of the 4 or 9 cities. Go to the shops of Siheyuan and Wuyute and buy a bag of jasmine tea wrapped in craft paper. Put it into a white porcelain tea cup, rinse it with hot water, and the fragrance will overflow. It is a rare enjoyment for the residents of the old 4 and 9 cities in their leisure time. The flower tea opened in the bronze treasure chest is the finest jasmine tea. System, besides being able to make tobacco, wine, and tea, what else can a bronze treasure chest make? Chen Zhixing took tobacco, alcohol, and tea into his personal space, calmed his emotions, and instead of continuing to receive rewards, he asked in his heart. The bronze treasure chest contains a large amount of daily necessities, and the rewards offered are random. System prompt. What about the silver chest above the bronze chest? What's inside? Chen Zhixing continued to inquire. Please continue to explore, host. System mechanical sound without emotional broadcasting. Wipe. Chen Zhixing pouted in disappointment. Can you give him some tips to keep him motivated? Unable to obtain more useful information, Chen Zhixing took out the Xingyi Fist Master Skill card. Holding the card in hand, it feels icy and cool, with a metallic texture. There is a middle-aged man practicing martial arts engraved on it. Even if it's just a printed pattern, you can still see the fierce aura of the man when he punches. Use. Chen Zhixing silently recited. In the next moment, a huge amount of information flooded into Chen Zhixing's mind. Xingyi Quan, also known as Sinilioha Quan, emphasizes the combination of heart and intention in qi, qi and strength, shoulder and hip, elbow and knee, and hand and foot. The general outline of boxing consists of 5 categories, namely split boxing, diamond boxing, avalanche boxing, cannon boxing, and horizontal boxing. There is a saying that Tai Chi does not go out for 10 years, and its meaning is to kill people in 1 year. It can be seen that the form and meaning of the fist are as fierce as fire, with unparalleled strength. After a full 7 or 8 minutes. Hu. Chen Zhixing exhaled a mouthful of turbid air, with a proud expression. In just a few minutes, Chen Zhixing seemed to have transformed into a martial arts enthusiast who had been practicing martial arts since childhood, practicing 3 nines in winter and 3 fu in summer. After 20 years of hard practice, I finally reached the level of a master in Xingyi Fist. Even the muscle memory and combat techniques of punching were perfectly integrated by him. It is truly magical. If I encounter those 2 thugs again, even if they are wielding machetes, they will not be the enemy of my one move. Chen Zhixing recalled the previous battle scenes. 1 character horse and crooked nose bridge were stabbed at him with spring knives, and now Chen Zhixing had no need to dodge. Whether it's punching or kicking, 1 move can defeat the opponent. With his exceptional physical fitness and the strength of his Xingyi Quan master, Chen Zhixing's heart was uplifted. I only wish there were no bad people jumping out now and practicing their skills for him. Calm down, Chen Zhixing checks the last reward. Medical kit. Take out the medicine box and open the lid. There are cotton balls, cotton swabs, bandages, gauze, alcohol, tape, and a bottle of wound healing spray inside. Chen Zhixing has just completed the surgery and is really familiar with these things. It was indeed prepared according to the wound being cut. No problem. Chen Zhixing took out the spray and held it in his hand to take a look. On the glass bottle packaging, there is no label. If it weren't for the system's production, Chen Zhixing would never have dared to use such 3 no products. How about giving it a try? The idea flashed through Chen Zhixing's mind, and in the end, he put the spray into the medicine box and put it in his personal space. Bringing an injury to Director Wang's house, Director Wang will definitely ask about the situation. Coincidentally, he spoke up about his bravery and righteousness. Bloody wounds are more authentic. In these days, being brave and righteous is a very impressive thing. First, transfer the snacks from your backpack to your personal space. Then pack the tobacco, alcohol, and tea in their own packaging bags and put them in the backpack. After organizing, Chen Zhixing rode his bicycle and drove out of the alley. 20 minutes later, Chen Zhixing came to a bungalow. Standing at the door, Chen Zhixing calmly breathed, adjusted his state, and gave his final thought. Director Wang, who is responsible for assigning job positions, is the most crucial factor in achieving the plan and maximizing profits. Being able to become a department-level cadre and manage a certain area is an absolute talent. Playing tricks and calculating in front of her is seeking death. Even if he could gain temporary benefits, when Director Wang turned around and found out that he had offended the largest official in the area, Chen Zhixing could not get any benefits. So, this time Chen Zhixing plans to have a tough argument with Director Wang, focusing on the character of a down-to-earth and good young man. Thanks to Chen Zhixing's previous connections, as well as 3 top-notch tobacco, alcohol, and tea gifts awarded by the system, as well as Chen Zhixing's reputation for sacrificing himself for public service, Chen Zhixing feels very confident. After sorting out his thoughts, he reached out and knocked on the door. "Who is it?" Director Wang's voice came from inside the room. "Director Wang, it's me, Chen Zhixing, the son of Chen Zhixing." Chen Zhixing responded. Quickly, the footsteps were getting closer and closer. Director Wang opened the door and saw Chen Zhixing outside. "It's Xiao Chen. It's so late, what's up?" "Director Wang, my family has encountered something and I would like you to give me some guidance," Chen Zhixing said vaguely. "Let's talk about it." Director Wang smiled slightly and received him politely. "Thank you, Director Wang." Chen Zhixing crossed the threshold. "Have you eaten yet?" "My wife has just returned from work and is eating inside. If you haven't eaten, just add a bite at my house," Director Wang politely said. "I ate it on my way here." Chen Zhixing knew this was a polite remark and quickly replied. If you really believe Director Wang's words and have dinner with his lover at the table, then his affairs will be over the top. "You sit down first, I'll pour you a cup of tea." Director Wang led Chen Zhixing into the room. "Director Wang, I'll just drink cold water. Don't beat me up." Chen Zhixing stood and spoke, opening his backpack. "Take out the tobacco, alcohol, and tea." Glancing around the room, thinking about where to put the gift. Suddenly, his gaze swept over the man sitting on the dining chair eating. The man may be extremely hungry and is taking a big bite of grilled rice, with a handful of melon seeds and peanuts on the table. How does this figure feel so familiar? Chen Zhixing furrowed his eyebrows. The middle-aged man heard Chen Zhixing's voice and turned his head to look over. The two exchanged a glance and saw the surprise and smile in each other's eyes. The middle-aged man was Dr. Zhuo Zhengye, who sewed up the wound for Chen Zhixing half an hour ago. Chen Zhixing felt a bit awkward carrying the gift. Quickly placed the gift on the wall. "Xiao Chen, what's wrong with the gauze tied to your arm? Are you injured?" Director Wang handed a cup of hot tea to Chen Zhixing and inquired. When she opened the door for Chen Zhixing, she saw the marks of bandages on his arm. "I thought Chen Zhixing came to find him at night because he was being bullied and came to her to seek justice."